You won't believe it. A strange dude knocked on her door claiming to be a painter, and the neighbor thought nothing of it. But once inside, he asked her if she wanted to be a model. Realizing something was wrong, the neighbor pretended to fetch her husband. But when she came back, the widow was gone. According to her, he was just an average white guy, not a killer. So could this mysterious guy be the LaShaw case killer? Meanwhile, he switched targets, confusing Nora more, prompting her to ask friends. If true, the city has more than one killer. Why do their methods match so closely? Meanwhile, her husband stumbled upon Nora's photo in the newspaper. Talk about a shock. He quickly reminded her it was dangerous, considering the killer was still wandering outside. Nora wanted to explain, but suddenly the phone rang, and when she picked up, all she got was the eerie silence straight out of a horror movie. Thinking it was the wrong number, she heard heavy breathing and freaked out, hanging up quickly. Puzzled, her husband asked what happened. Nora, to avoid worrying him, said it was a wrong number. Before long, the phone rang again, her husband tensed only silence. What on earth was happening? Was the killer trying to take revenge after seeing Nora's report? Husband sensed the gravity and expressed concern about Nora's job. Who wants a creep after all? In the following time, single women started turning up dead left and right. It's enough to make your hair stand on. So far, 10 women have been killed, leaving police helpless. What a pickle. The clever killer always escaped just in time. As Nora neared breakdown, she got a call from NYPD. After listening to the detective, Nora confusedly asked if the guy was there. So many questions. The guy is there. She felt a bit lost at that point. She went to the bar to find him, and guess what? It took her a mind-boggling 45 minutes. His name is Paul Dempsey, lives in Maine, but she managed to drop the ball and sent him to Boston. What a comedic twist. After seriously hearing the detective's intel, Nora was still puzzled as to why they didn't contact Boston PD right away. The detective replied he had already reached out, but Boston PD was ghosting him, a talk about infuriating. Weeks later, he personally went to Boston PD, but their cold shoulder left him scratching his head, as if they didn't care about catching the killer at all. Feeling helpless, after noticing Nora's report, he realized he might as well reach out to her for help. Nora and Jenny, while investigating, discovered that the first LaShaw case in Boston had its eerie parallels in a murder that happened in New York. The suspect was the same Paul mentioned by the NYPD detective, just mind-blowing. Yet no one understood why Boston PD was brushing it off. Don't they want to get to the bottom of it? Nora criticized Boston PD for inaction, causing citizens daily anxiety. Under public pressure, the local DA announced overseeing the LaShaw case a jaw-dropper. At this point, Nora met up with the detective from New York, who filled her in on recent reports he had received. The report revealed the guy was persistently harassing women in their apartments. Unbelievable. But just as the detective was about to make an arrest, Boston PD flat out refused to share any info. This guy turned out to be a primary suspect for Boston PD. What a comedy of errors. Nora learned his name was Sal, and he was jailed for rape. What a twisted tale. Ironically, he was the type to disguise himself as a repairman to continue his dark deeds. His other identity was that of a faux model, trying to convince women he could help them. Victims said he wasted no time once inside. Like a zombie attack, it's enough to give anyone chills. Nora got in touch with Detective Jim, who was assigned to the LaShaw case after they met at the victim's memorial service. She found Jim was unlike the other detectives. He genuinely wanted to catch the killer, winning over her respect. However, all their exchanges had to be done secretly due to the police department's strict non-disclosure policies. Nora told Jim the killer they were looking for was Sal, but to her surprise, Jim vehemently denied it. Jim firmly believed Sal couldn't be the killer because he was locked up during the first 6 murders. But Nora felt the situation wasn't so simple. All the clues pointed right at him. Suddenly, Jenna's words jogged Nora's memory. She had never checked Sal's release records. So she quickly checked through her connections and, lo and behold, Sal had requested early release. What a plot twist. And the judge agreed, letting him out just 2 months before the first LaShaw case. Clearly, the timing matched. Nora realized it was far more complicated. Armed with those pieces of evidence, she was ready to boldly publish her findings, but her joy was short-lived. The next day, her boss informed her Sal had hired a famous lawyer. Nora was baffled. A big-time lawyer usually costs an arm and a leg. How could he afford that?